Hello, welcome to another ramble. Today I'm going to make a recording on a couple of topics. The first topic is love, what it is and what it is not. The second topic is forgiveness, and the third topic is why it's okay to feel like you are unaligned. And I'm going to try to stitch this together as best I can, as graciously as I can without slaughtering it, and hopefully it makes sense. So love, let's talk about love. So I think we've associated love with pain. And if you think about love, the truest essence of it in its unconditioned forms, love is not supposed to hurt. It is not supposed to be restrictive or binding or judgmental. It's supposed to actually lighten your load and your spirits, yours and the people around you. So it's like I said, it's unconditioned. It's not just for a few people. It's obviously there for everyone. And love is not possession or expectation for someone or something to fulfill you and your needs. Vice versa, because I think when you enter into relationships, a lot of people's partners expect you to fulfill a need or fulfill a function or fulfill something in order for them to feel good or happy. That's not love. Like I said, love is not binding. Love is liberating. It allows people and things to be as they are without condemnation. Speaking of condemnation, since we're on that topic, in the same vein, I came across a video last night before I went to bed that was pretty mind-altering and profound for me. It definitely helped me to shift my perception and to see things from a different angle. It was something along the lines of, how do you forgive someone? How do you forgive yourself? And the other person's response was, it's not necessary to forgive. And I was like, what? That's kind of crazy. I thought we were taught to forgive so we can release and let go and move on. To release that heavy emotional burden that we carry around when we don't forgive, that's tied with anger and resentment. You know what I mean? Resentment is just I want to say, more extreme form of anger that has been festering. But anyways, there's you don't have to forgive unless you've condemned someone or something. And I was like, that's interesting. They're like, well, if you don't condemn anyone or anything, then there's no reason to forgive. And that's how it should be. That's the natural way to live. We've been living in unnatural ways and in unnatural, participating in unnatural behaviors and habits and ways of living, if you think about it. So, when you condemn someone, you basically make someone wrong and make someone right. When you condemn someone, you are, I guess, not in agreement with what it is, because it's not pleasing for you. So you condemn, you judge, right? There's different types of judgment, obviously, so you can see what you want and what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to participate in, what you don't want to participate in. But a lot of these are mental constructs that create a lot of division, But if you were to step out of your mind, move beyond division, move beyond judgment, then you wouldn't have to condemn anything or anyone, and you wouldn't have to forgive, you know? So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So if you just kind of like step back and look at everything as it is without passing judgment and functioning from a place of unconditional love, then everything would be quite peaceful in your experience, because your internal atmosphere projects your external experience. And if you're functioning from that place, which takes a lot of hard work, I'm not saying it's easy. I mean, it's, that's one thing, we're living in a time where we have access to so much information. It's at the tips of our fingers. We can access information instantly, but are we applying the knowledge that we are acquiring? Or are we just kind of like constantly doing data downloads and not really proactively practicing? It's one thing to know something, it's another thing to actually put it into practice. It's kind of like a book sitting on your shelf. You have the data, it's there, but are you actually using your time and energy and vessel to move through experiences and apply that knowledge? Anyways, that was a really stupid analogy, but that's okay. The last thing I wanted to talk about was feeling unaligned, feeling imbalanced. We've had a tendency to push away anything that feels uncomfortable. Like, oh, this doesn't feel good, so let's take a pill, or let's do something, I don't know, to numb the pain. I don't know, there's so many ways of distracting yourself from uncomfortable things. And we have a tendency to look at it like it's bad. It's not good or bad, right or wrong. It just is. And it's there to show you basically what you want, what you don't want, what you will allow, what you won't allow. What feels right to you, what doesn't feel right to you. That's what unalignment, being unaligned or imbalanced function is. It's to show you where you are at, and like what feels good, what doesn't feel good. When you are completely balanced, there's no discomfort, right? But when you're not feeling balanced, then it's almost like you're getting a messenger from your internal self to let you know that, hey, something doesn't feel quite aligned, and what do we need to do? What proactive steps and measures do we need to take in order to get back to where we want to be? And you could be in a toxic relationship, or you could be in a toxic relationship with someone else or yourself. A toxic relationship with yourself, especially. And that's why, like, a lot of times we feel unaligned, right? And we blame everything else, and we try to push this feeling away, but it's so essential to honor it and acknowledge it and take a step back and just kind of reflect on it and see what do I need to do to get myself back to a place that feels right to me, and I don't know, there's just so much to it. I feel like once you're in alignment with yourself, everything falls into place effortlessly, but you need to get out of your own way. We spend a lot of time in our mind, and then we let our mind take the driver's seat. We let the mind become the master, when in actuality, you are the master. You're the master of the mind. You just have to realize it, proactively practice, learn the lesson, and master it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I made sense. Anyhow, If you learned something, that's great. If you didn't, that's great too. Blessings to one and all. Amen.